Hey folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them, and all.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Because, we're here. What the hell? I'm joined by a couple of guests tonight, and I'm going to be throwing this thing wide open to everybody because not only do we have a couple of campaigns that we want to talk about and just, what's happening over the weekend like we always do, but we have a little bit of a celebration. A little bit of a celebration. We went past 1,000 subs on YouTube, which was a long time coming. It was a long grind. We're really happy. We actually have a cushion that we're pretty sure we won't go back under. So roll, baby, roll. One of the things I want to do, I want to introduce two guys that are already backstage. One of them is my boy, my traveling companion, my partner that got me to Savannah Comic Con to do a live show there, which was probably the highlight of everything I've done since I started doing this. So y'all say hi to my boy Chris. What's up, Chris?
How you doing, buddy?
It's all action, brother. It's all fucking action.
Now I feel bad for pranking you there. No, I don't.
your mic's kind of popping in and out a little bit, so you might want to work.
How's this, baby?
Oh, look at that. He wants to go dock on us. Check that. Hey, baby. I don't even have that voice. I can't even do that. Stone got it. I don't got it, man. We also have backstage my other boy. Look, these guys are all part of the RPG streams that we do, and
I just broke my. Listen, when they tell you eat your Wheaties, don't eat them.
Holy see, he's over here tearing his equipment apart live on stream. Here we go.
Just to be with you.
Now you get the whole, you just hold it there like an announcer. You're gonna have to bring somebody in to interview. Hey, yo. But we also, like I said, we're joined by another friend of ours from the RPG streams, another GM, another player, another fun person. We want to hang out with fun people, right? I don't know if y'all know him, but if you don't, Jeff Bracey, who is also the art director and cover artist for this piece right here.
Keeper of the royal armament, sword of restoration, prophetess of technology, and defender of the faith. I am Isabet Arnev of the House of Beatitude, and none shall dislodge me from the Phoenix throne.
You kids get off my lawn.
It's the other dog.
What is up, Chris? What's happening? Welcome. So yeah, this right here is the link to the Fund My Comic, to that particular campaign right there. If you want to go check it out, we'll talk about it later. We'll look at it a little bit. First, we're just gonna bullshit for a little bit because I don't get to talk to these guys too much. I know Chris just a working. They're both just working.
Yeah.
I am working on a subsequent piece of art for the next comic in the series. So just working.
And I think Chris is also doing some stuff with Laurie. He's just doing stuff all over the place, man. On top of his own Laughing Rogue. It's not just the Laughing Rogue is like your umbrella company over all this cool stuff he does: games, RPGs, graphic novels, just
outdoors, all of it,
everything, right? So we're gonna make sure that link gets up here too, but he's gonna have to put it.
Yeah, I'll
just create the outdoors. You can thank me and God. The outdoors are my domain.
Well, I mean, more me.
Time Band is you see trees. Did y'all make trees? No, but we did make shrubs.
That's right.
Shrubs.
There you go. That's funny because we were just talking about trees, weren't we, Jeff? Tree houses.
Yes, we were. We turns out Fire Mistress of the Dark has a treehouse, which makes her even way cooler.
Yeah. Chris, I gotta know, is there a big tree near your house?
Oh yeah, quite a few.
Let's just build a tree house, motherfucker. I'll live in it.
In fact,
Do
I'm
you want
planning
to build
more.
a treehouse?
It'd be Pop's tree house, bro.
I'm in South Carolina. We don't get enough snow to make a snowman.
Oh, well, see, that's part of the charm. You got to have a snowman on the balcony of your treehouse. You know, you just keep scraping the wood off the roof
I have
onto the balcony, and
of my tree castle.
Chris, you're gonna have to show me your face, dude. I got a Chris in the backstage, another Chris. You're gonna have to show me your face so I know you're a real person. Then you can hide behind your avatar again. But, you know, we have been crashed by people with really bad ideas before, and yeah.
And just wait till.
I mean, the name is kind of a red flag in the first place. I just ain't gonna do it because I don't want to get my stream taken down because somebody wants to flash their dick on our screen or something. We're not gonna do that. So
well, no, I was gonna do
that. And that you got clothes on, then I'll let you on the stream. But other than that, no, it's not like that.
I mean, if you happen to get fooled by like some hottie with giant knockers, I mean that might be forgivable.
That is what we call content.
He said that again. Wow.
For a bunch of straight dudes, no dick pics, please.
Yeah.
I mean, $50 is $50. I'll
Money talks, right?
That's right. Super chat. I will slap it in the forehead.
I mean,
Lord, I apologize.
I'm honored that somebody thinks my channel's.
Lord.
I'm honored that somebody would think my channel is big enough to come out and Dick Flash, but
dude, that is now my stripper name.
Oh man, just wait till AI is super available and the internet gets a hold of that. Like they're just invading your streams and things.
Yeah. Did you say you like that name, Chris?
Yeah, that's gonna be
Flash?
my name, Dick Flash. That's
Dick
my stripper
Flash.
name.
Dick Flash.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Just a man, but he's got.
And we're done. So I don't think we can top that.
Nothing but
Welcome to Free Ballin' Friday.
But his boner still prevail.
And you know, I'm not wearing the right hat because Freewheeling Friday is supposed to be representation of Freewheeling Franklin.
What's
from
that?
The Freak Brothers. You know,
the
one with the hat and the goatee. Yeah, you know, you got to be a Freak Brothers fan to understand.
You know.
Ooh, yeah. Can I ask you guys something?
It's
perfectly clean this time. Can I get your opinion on this thing I shared?
Sure.
Oh, that's you. See, now I thought that was somebody in the backstage trying to get in. I didn't know it was you.
Yeah. No, this is a stretch goal for me. And I'm going to offer either this badge, this one, or that one.
Dude, can we make it a county and make it a sheriff's badge instead?
I thought about that too. But it's the Slaughterville PD that's in the book, so I thought.
I'd love to have a Slaughterville sheriff's badge, bro.
Just so we can take it down to the actual town.
No, so I can put it on my, because I wear a sheriff's badge at the cons. If I have a Slaughterville one, that'd be
that one really looks like a sheriff's badge, so I kind of dig that. But I think
I like that one too.
might be the third. I'm not feeling the fourth one at all.
Nope, don't like that.
I'm getting the most from number 2 and number 3.
I like number 2 because it's got the circle and the star, the star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's yeah, I like that.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'd like to get your opinion on this. Pardon me, I need to adjust the camera so I can dick flash.
I already trademarked it. You can't use it.
He said, "I'm going to show you something, but you're going to have to get real close to see it."
Let me lift up my erection. I want to know: do you like the left testicle or the right testicle better?
Let me.
What do you got here? What is it? Blood Throne? Oh, okay. Blood World? Yeah, okay. Chris is going to run through it while you talk about it.
For the irony's sake, I have left and right tattooed on my sack, but it's reversed because I'm thinking about how she is viewing it.
Well, that's just considerate.
All right, look. I met this dude in the joint.
Yeah.
And he made his money off fish. Fish are new guys on the yard, okay? He made his money off them because he would walk up to them when they first got on the yard, and before anybody had warned them ahead of time, right? And
they didn't know the deal.
I will bet you $20 in store that I have your name tattooed on my dick. And of course, he had the words "your name" tattooed on his dick.
Yes.
So he never lost the bet.
Never. Right? Oh,
yeah.
Fresh fish.
Serious business. Dude had the words "your name" tattooed on his dick. And no, he did not get me for money because I didn't want to see his dick no matter whose name was tattooed on it.
Yeah, for real. Like, I've never done time, but I knew better than that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I wasn't never dumb. I remember never being dumb. I've done some things, but I can't never remember being dumb. There's a difference.
Being stupid and having poor judgment at a critical time in your life are two different things.
So what we have here, sir, did you send him the link, by the way? Did you ask him if he wanted to come out?
I did not. I was in the midst of doing all this other jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of when I get to working on my artwork, I kind of forget everything else.
I get how that works. I do.
Let me see if I can send him a message real quick.
But yeah, anybody's welcome to come out and join us. Like I said, it's Freewheeling Friday. We just come out. We talk about whatever campaign, whatever's coming up over the weekend. If you got con appearances or whatever, and you want to let people know, that's what this show's for. It's after the prime time shit. It's still early enough that East Coast people ain't quite gone to bed yet, and the West Coast people just got done with dinner and they're tuning in. So, it's a good time to tell everybody what you got going on. I hate trying to go out there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock when all the big shows are out there just hogging up the airwaves.
If you lose me for a second, it's because I've gone split screen, so I can pop over to a.
Oh, I can send it to him
yeah.
I'll send it to him.
Okay, appreciate it.
I want you getting kicked.
Yeah, because I do pretty much everything on the iPad, and the iPad is great, but it's still not the equivalent of a computer, so I can only do so much at a time. But I just end up staying on my iPads all the time because I create all my art on them.
I never know where to send a message, so I send them to both places.
Twitter's always the fastest way to get a hold of any of us, I think, or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm almost getting to the point where I call it X as often as I do Twitter, but ironically, it still says twitter.com when you look up the web address, which is hilarious.
If I have to call it something, I call it Twix. Because if you go out there, you see a whole bunch of left Twix and a whole bunch of right Twix, and it's a sense.
Yeah, I understand like he wants to rebrand, and I get that, but like, you know, we don't call it like posting or Xing or anything. We still call it tweeting. You know, like,
Tweeting.
all right,
Yep.
I'd
Mhm.
just stuck with the branding. I'd have just stuck with it myself.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
in case our CEO and writer, head writer, doesn't get here, this lovely thing right here is Blood World Phoenix Throne, which is the first comic book from Ring Cross Press here. It is a space opera. It's also cyberpunk. It's the 26th century, and man has largely left Earth behind. There is a remnant population of humans on Earth, but Earth is considered a pissant little backwater. It's mostly a very hostile wasteland populated by monsters and mutants and whatever people decide they wanted to stay. They've got these 10-mile high towers called spires that some folks decide, like, yeah, you know, we got a good thing going on here. We're the rulers of the world, whatever. And other people who are too poor to leave. But the majority of civilized and technologically advanced humanity has gone to the moons of Jupiter and Saturn and independent kingdoms, which tend to clash with each other.
Is that the early bird thing that's sold out? Is that what that is? The early bird tier? Okay. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Looks like.
Yeah, okay. The early bird tiers are wiped out, but you can still get a $10 book. You know, it's a $10 book. You know, could have got it for $8 last week, like I did. It'd be small.
Yeah, I believe I'm pretty sure anytime you order a book, you will also get the digital PDF along with it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. You want to keep your book in immaculate shape. You know, like read through it the one time, and anytime you want to look at it, and like for people with like kind of poor vision like myself, it's really nice to have it digitally where I can like blow it up so I can, you know, read things without having to like squint at it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm speaking of squinting and blowing things up. I'm proofreading Doc's novella right now, and I don't have a print copy to read. So I have to sit here in the chair and blow that shit up. I don't like working. I mean, this is the work I do in the chair. I don't like being stuck here when I'm not doing shows and still having to work. I'd rather be over there working. You know what I mean? But there's no print copy, so I can't just go over there and sit down and read it at my leisure. I got to sit here in the chair. But yeah, Doc's novella is good, guys. I like it. I'm really digging it.
Is that also crime genre?
Yeah, it's the same as it's a damn dirty thing. It's just expanded word form. You know, you got the graphic novel and you got the novella. So it's like, you know, say it's like 140 pages, 120 pages, something like that now. It started out as 60.
We're actually working on something similar. The Blood World, we have, hello.
What's up,
we
Kim?
have a number of people, like when Nim first started pitching this idea, and it wasn't really a thing like we were going to get together and do it. Like he was just wanting some feedback on stuff he was writing, and like we got really excited about the world he was creating. And it's like, oh, you know, like it sounds like I could do something cool with it, like, you know, on Earth here. And somebody was like, oh, it'd be cool if I did something like in the outer asteroid belt. So this kind of like Wild West kind of Mandalorian-ish story, you know, like the kind of outlaw kind of area, whereas like here, this is in the Ganymede monarchy where it's all very civilized, but it's also kind of medieval structured. And there's almost kind of this like cyber Catholicism, if you will, because the queen is the queen of the faith, and it's called Blood World because so much of what's going on with the characters is all depending on their genetics. Genetics plays a huge role in how this thing works, you know, because you've got mutants, you've got the scientific symposium on one of the Saturn moons, and they're all about like genetic manipulation. And here, of course, with our Ganymede monarchy, even though a large majority of the people are cyberized, your bloodlines are important because it is a monarchical dynasty. So it all kind of plays into that. And it's
Dominic Victor Alexander Chabot.
I was going to ask about that because of the naming convention.
Mm-hmm. See, like, and it's very interesting because everybody's doing. At first, we were going to kind of release this as as more of an anthology kind of book, you know, where we all had like 12-page stories that we were going to tell, and then later we decided, like, you know what, we'll just put out an issue at a time, and that will end up being, you know, collected into basically a large anthology. Because we are all attracted to different aspects of this world. And I wanted to do a sci-fi barbarian fantasy. I was always a big fan of Conan and things like Thunder the Barbarian. So I've got this mutant, 3-armed mutant barbarian carrying around this very futuristic, powerful sword called the Singularity Blade. And he's fighting, you know, monsters and mutants and quote-unquote wizards. Because I decided, like, magic doesn't exist, but, like, you know, to the primitives, they think it's magic, but it's really like different forms of technology. Some rogue humans who went out into the wastelands or were cast out into the wastelands away from these spires, and so they've mastered various technologies. And to the, you know, the primitive mutants, they're wizards, and so I got that kind of flavor going on. But here, like I said, in the Ganymede monarchy. They're big on cyber. Like you can see, this is Baron Chabot, and he's coming out of his armor, and you see he's just a torso. And so their cybernetics are so advanced. It's kind of like, if you remember, like Star Wars, when Luke got his hand after Vader got it cut off, he could feel in there. You know, they pinpricked his little finger, so he gets all the sensation. So like, okay, I'm done fighting. I basically take off my battle dress and I put on my arms and legs, so I can function like a normal human being, although granted, they're probably stronger than your average person. And a lot of the technology in the overall world is also based on manipulation of gravity. So there's lots of fun things there. Here he is having a sparring match with Queen Yusabet, the defender of the faith, because she's not just pretty, she's also incredibly deadly. And the system, the cybernetic system here, is pretty interesting. There's a scene where she has an audience with the Baron after he's kind of staged an illegal attack on another principality on Ganymede, and she does not approve, but she also cannot completely disapprove. But the cybernetic technology is kind of a slaveware, so wherever your ranking is in the system, when she walks into a room, the cyberware forces everybody to drop to their knees in subservience. And when she's talking to the Baron, he's like, "Can I please get up now?" She's like, "Oh, damn program." She has to turn it off so you can stand up and look her in the eye. Because you know, it's a really fundamentally interesting feudal cyber society he's created here, and it's really cool, the stuff he's got going on. Yeah, Laurie Calcaterra has had a chance to read it, and she was just pretty thrilled by it all. So like, it was really nice seeing like that she dug it, because I'm a big fan of her work with whatever Path of the Pale Rider happens to be.
What?
Yes, and because of our love of comics from the age we grew up, you know, 70s, 80s, and on, Nim had the brilliant idea to put in like ads like we used to see in those old comics. So instead of sea monkeys, we have space monkeys, and like this ad's been getting a lot of positive response from folks. And I said, like, you know what, man, we gotta. I don't know where we're gonna do it. It's like, but we ought to create like a little 5-page story. So there's a Space Monkeys adventure, just a little 5-pager to fit in somewhere, because like, I think it's hilarious. Everybody's seen it, thinks it's pretty cool. And those of us of a certain age who remember those things, like all the ads in comics, you know, the X-ray glasses, or the Black Dragon Society, I'll teach you how to kick everybody's ass, the Space Monkeys and all that stuff. It's just fun, you know, like I miss that kind of stuff out of comics. And the majority of us are in our like 40s and 50s, so we remember all this stuff quite fondly, and hopefully that will catch on with a new generation as well.
Well, I know in the book we were trying to do, I wanted to do a quasi hostess ad, but for a local dispensary, you know, and have Crom.
So
Crom would be the one that slides by and throws the joint at the robbers, you know. You don't have to steal it. Here, you can have some, you know. Yeah.
And like Crom's throwing out like a spleef. He's like, just smoke it.
Yeah. There you go. Just smoke it already.
Yeah, there's the cover I did. I wanted to do something I hadn't done in a long time. I used to be, before I really got into doing comic style work, I used to spend a lot of time doing really detailed pencil renderings before I got into doing inks and colors and all that stuff. And I just kind of got a wild hair up my ass here, and I thought about like doing this as a painted cover, but instead and this is all done on the iPad, but I still managed to capture the essence of what it used to look like when I was drawing just in pencil on paper. And then I went ahead and colored it, of course, and everybody liked the black and white cover so much, we decided to offer that as a cover A kind of cover B situation.
Cool.
Let's see. There's a another variant cover which basically covers a lot of the elements of the universe. You'll see a number of other characters who do not actually appear in this book, but these are foreshadows of some of the other stories that some of our other writers and artists are working on. There's my boy down there holding his big scary sword with his 3 arms.
The movie with John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Thurman.
It's kind of funny because like the artist like did that, like we said, like is that a Pulp
Fiction?
Like, yeah, really did some Pulp Fiction there because he's the writer is working on a sci-fi hard-boiled detective story, and like it's got some like really gnarly twists and turns in it, and so that's the main character and his partner, so that's pretty cool. And of course, here in the that cover we see Queen Elizabeth. We see the Duke and we see the Baron off to the side of her. Up there in the corner, there's a guy in Inquisitor armor, and somebody who's going to be with him. There's my barbarian character down there, Fellhand, and below her is if I can say this right, Ariane. Some people are living in one of the few places on Earth that still has moisture. Most of the Earth looks a lot like Venus, just slightly less hostile. It's all been kind of burned up in nuclear fire and ozone destruction and just about every bad environmental disaster they've been threatening us with for forever. This is another alternate cover. It was drawn
Luke
by
Stone.
Yeah,
the Luke Stone cover, yes.
Drawn by Luke and colored by me. I hope I did him justice. He's quite good, and I thought the choice of having the Queen just chilling out barefoot was pretty interesting. But you're Queen, you can do whatever the hell you want, right? It fits her character because unlike everybody else in her society, her cousin, the Duke, mocks her. He calls her the broodmare behind her back because she chooses not to bear her children via test tube like everybody else, like every civilized person. She actually delivers hers in the natural way. And they're like, she's like a barn animal, man, like having natural childbirth. What's up with that? But she's the Queen. You can't talk too much smack.
Yeah. She's off with his head.
And we got
Not
a blue
that one.
monkeys of some of the battle armor.
Oh shit. Yeah, it would be, Queens, they have some kind of power for sure.
Mm-hmm. You can't judge anybody by their appearance here because especially the folks in this book, because they're all cyberized, so you never know what somebody has got literally like up their sleeve or under their skin. So the softest, daintiest looking Queen, She's got like the the Lindsay Wagner. She's going to bionic woman you at the slightest drop of a hat if you get out of line.
Nice.
Now
nice.
I wanted to ask. His armor is it's the sleek, smooth. It's the robotic look, but his is more traditional, I guess you could call it.
Now I did the original concept art for the book before we got our artists on. And for the cover, the sleeker, smoother art is actually based on what the interior artist did. We didn't hold everybody tight to the designs I came up with. We used them as kind of like, figure things out. And he also colored the book, and he decided to, just kind of color it the way he thought was kind of cool. So my original concept here is Nim said like Duke Avenue. He likes to hunt, and I don't know, like the Dungeons and Dragons just kind of jumped out in me. One of his names you see is Rasputin, so I actually based his face off of Grigory Rasputin. I just made him bald because the character's supposed to be bald, and made his beard smaller. And he's got this dragon-headed warhammer that he likes to use, and he's actually wearing the skin of a mutant bear from Earth as a cloak. He likes to go on safari every now and again and hunt the most dangerous things he can find. And so that inspired a lot of my design. But the designs the interior artist Tosin did were based very much on the underneath the sea monkeys. You'll see there's like this blueprint. And we had a different artist who drew up a blueprint for like a journalized sort of a mech.
Yeah, the mech, the tech mech stuff. Yes, yeah. Right there.
And you see, it's very kind of 1940s in its styling, and that's what inspired our artist when he actually started working on the interiors of the book. Because I wasn't working on the interiors of the book, so I was like, okay, it's not like I got to draw it every page. So I went as gothic and as crazy as I could, which, unless you're like Jim Lee, is completely impractical for most people to draw. So he probably took a look at some of my designs like, nah, I ain't doing that. F that guy. So like, yeah, we didn't mind because he does some amazing stuff on the interior pages. Yeah, I love his energy, and I can't say enough good things about Tosin. Tosin, if you need somebody to work on your comic, this guy is fast and professional. You tell him you need, it's like, okay, that's not quite right. I need you to change this. And boom, he just does it. There's no complaints. He'll send you a page. He's like, does everything look right to you? And he's so fast. Sometimes I wish, like, oh, why didn't you send me the pencils first, man? I hate for you to have to change things after you inked. But he just goes in and does it. He cleans it up. He gets it done. Total professional. The guy's awesome. And so he penciled, inked, and colored all of the interior of this book. And he does a phenomenal job.
Did you want me to play the video for you while I'm here?
You know what? Why not?
Okay.
Nick creates our videos, and he's really darn good at like editing and putting together videos for our various projects around Comic Crusaders and, of course, our comic book stuff here. So, yeah, play that video.
Oh, okay.
That funky music. What?
Two reactors bring down crystals to 4.7 megaseconds. 47 Feasters on approach. Drop ship in 3, 2, 1. 786 Marines, ready to get some. We're in the pipe 5 by 5. Rocket bomb probes approaching enemy 12. Watch yourself over their heads. Where's the Queen? Where's the Queen? Seamus is show. Taking a little chop here. Getting some fire from the planet. Shields built. Ready. Shield breach, planet side. Tell the Baron he may start his approach. Baron on approach. Ready to drop action and bodyguard in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Secure my left leg. Chabot will take the center. Civilian population passing by. Going to 6. 26 Lancers on station. Orbiting city. Notify the Baron that all civilians have been pacified and are confined to quarters.
Now, David Nemesis Howard created that video. He also did all the voices. I'm a little sad that he didn't call me to do some voice work because I do love doing the voice acting, but he does such a cool job. Hey, there he is. We're just talking about you.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Nim?
So I just got your message just now. I crashed out. I went out and ventured out into the 100+ degree heat today, and it kicked my butt.
Woo, California. Yeah.
I gotta ask. I noticed like everybody's set in Ganymede, but there was one that was set in New Lion. How many other locations do you have?
Well, New Leon is a floating like fortress above Ganymede.
Gotcha.
But as far as locations in the universe, we're all over the place. But there are 3 main factions. One is around Jupiter, that's centered around on the moon Ganymede. One is on the moon Titan, and around Saturn, and then the third is Earth. But there are people living throughout this whole universe, and there will be stories that could take place in all of those different places. Like in the entrance, the first page of the book, we have this write-up that we talk about that generally introduces you to Blood World, and we talk about other places that we could go eventually, like the pleasure houses of Eros Prime, which is a floating station in the clouds of Venus, or
it's the Venus whorehouse.
Yeah,
basically.
Totally a Venus brothel.
Yeah, the plasma collectors of the Hermetic Dawn are a semi-religious order that controls energy sales, but they collect plasma from the sun, so they're on Mercury. So there's all these really cool things like that as well. So
Sweet.
So, yeah, and I will say that we're on Fund My Comic right now. One of the things I'm doing, I kind of fell behind today. I was going to do some work this afternoon, but like I said, I fell asleep because us old dudes like our naps. But
yeah, wait a minute. I can't get a motherfucking nap. You guys are all like my naps.
you're a young man over there, Pops.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I know. I'm feeling like a young man.
No, we're going to be we're bringing this thing to Kickstarter as well. I've gotten lots of feedback. People are very familiar with Kickstarter, and we're going to do some stuff over there. So our campaign, Jeff doesn't even know this, we already got approved. I'm just going to do some refining to it, and then we're going to launch that thing to go live as well over there on Kickstarter. Because
I heard here first, people.
Yeah.
And then before you launch it, I had a little talk with Jeff yesterday about a couple things. You might want to talk to him before you launch it and let him run this stuff by you.
Okay, absolutely. I've also been picking the brain of a name you may know, Laurie Calcaterra. So on some stuff.
Yes.
So we're doing some stuff like that. Like one of the new things that we're going to launch in the Kickstarter version of our campaign is we've got the Space Monkeys. Well, I just got the new designs for 18 new Space Monkeys that are going to go in a different set we're going to do. But one of our tiers allows you to purchase, it's unique, and you can name one of the new Space Monkey characters from the new Space Monkey color form set and the Space Monkey comic. You get to name it. You get to pick its personality. You get to choose. So You know,
Bring
we're
it.
going to be doing stuff like
Oh.
that. In fact, one other thing, I will say this. I talked to a friend of mine who has an amazing 3D printer, and if we can swing it, we're going to have our highest price tier. It's going to be 1 of 1, and you will get a customized actual behemoth helmet from the behemoth armor. We will print it out and customize it.
Well, something else you ought to consider is maybe some little 3D space monkeys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have
little miniatures of your space monkeys.
Getting this project to take off will actually lead into other things, not just future comics, but because we're also into RPGs and tactical war gaming and card gaming and stuff like that. We envision that Blood World has the potential to be played like as an RPG as well, to be played in the vein of like Warhammer 40K, to be an action collectible card game as well. We just want to take this as far as we can go. Like, we really believe in the power of this IP. It's fun. It's exciting. This book isn't necessarily for kids. You see some sexy time stuff in some of the previews there, but it's still tastefully done. We're not just like outright like French comics or something.
There's no like it's rated R for a minute, and then it's back to normal. Doesn't go X or anything like that. Just get a little bit of R for a minute.
It's not gratuitous. Like, you're not getting flashed with any full frontal nudity or anything like that. But you know what's up. And there's blood on screen, but not necessarily like you see organs flying out of bodies, that sort of thing. So like we want you to know this is a world where like there's stakes and there's things that are going on, but it's I guess PG-13 would be the best way to put it. So it's still,
that's like that. It might get R for a minute, but that's all. There's no, it's part of the story. It's not thrown in to attract boob fans.
Exactly.
It's part of the story.
We are,
but I'm a dad, it's like I know what I would want my kids to read. I'm like, I don't know if I'd want my kids to read if they were under 13, Although, with the way the world is now, they can get it all on the internet. But hey,
But obviously the other is like tactical gaming and stuff like that, card games, RPG games. That will be available for anybody, because those things have been around forever. Like, I started playing these things when I was very young. It all just depends on who's running the game or what you got going. So like, it doesn't have to fall into that sort of thing. But this is just such a cool way to establish things with the comic book series. First of all,
yeah,
I could play everything.
I could see it in a traveler style where you can actually go between the different systems, the different planets, and yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun that way, and the universe itself. I mean, there's so much more to talk about within the universe. See, my dogs are all excited about the universe too. So, but the universe is got all of these different flavors and feels. So even though this first series takes place around Jupiter and the Ganymede monarchy, and it's this very Game of Thrones type feel, but futuristic. If we go over to the Seoul Scientific Symposium, which is the people around Jupiter, that is very much a cyberpunk setting, and everything that's going on over there. Meanwhile, on Earth, Earth is a combination of Idiocracy and Thundar the Barbarian. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, the Earth setting is so much fun because I have my raging barbarians and their post-apocalyptic mutant monster world, and they've got to survive in. I was telling you guys about some of the things like the techno wizards and sorcerers and things like that. But the people who still believe they are in charge of the planet, living in these 10-mile high cities called the Spires, they are a completely broken down, decadent society who are so far removed from what they used to be. They don't even remember. There's so few people who remember how to even keep their things functioning. So even with this advanced technology of these spires they have, they're actually kind of living on borrowed time because they're starting to crumble around them, and nobody really knows what they're doing anymore. Like you said, it's idiocracy. They've kind of forgotten how everything really functions, and they're driven mostly by hedonistic pleasures within their spires.
Yeah,
It's very late Roman Empire.
Yeah. In fact, in the book, we do this fun thing where we like to do fake ads. So, and the fake ads take place within the universe that, you know, to give it more flavor. So we're expanding the universe through ads and news reports and stuff in the book itself, so you can get a feel of what else is going on. Well, one of in the back, towards the back of the book, is a fake news report, and one of these spires in the book is crashing down. It's falling apart. The automated repair functions have ceased to work, and so a neighboring spire, instead of telling their neighbors, you know, hey, you need to evacuate or whatever, you know, they figure it's time for a party, and they hire this punk rock band to play, and it crashes down the spire. You know, the spire collapses under the weight of this punk rock band performance. Very much like, you know, in Douglas Adams, where they had the punk rock band that blew up a moon, you know. So if you ever read Douglas Adams. And so this punk rock band is floating, and the spire is coming down, and the news reports going on. And meanwhile, the mutants are out on the plains watching the gods and one of their cities stumble and worshiping them. And it's like, sociologists don't understand why the mutants, you know, music suits the savage beast and everything type thing. So yeah, it's a recipe for disaster going on Earth. But hey, what else is new? So
I like it. I like the whole concept, the fact that it has an opportunity to grow. A lot of people forget to give their story that. They get focused on one thing and they forget to give their story opportunity to grow. So you guys covered that in the beginning. When it comes to RPG and stuff like that, that you guys know more about that. The three of you are like masters of that shit compared to me. I just like to play, you know.
But that's the cool part, man. We want to bring this to everybody, and you know, I love tactical miniature games, you know, so like Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40K, and this universe lends itself a lot to 40K on a squad level type thing. But then from a RPG standpoint, you know, this is like there's all sorts of different characters you could play. You know, you could play a mutant who is adventuring on Earth. You could play a character like Mal Reynolds from Firefly, who's trying to just stay out of the way of the government and make a living while smuggling technology off of Mars and Earth, you know, and that kind of stuff. So there's all sorts of different ways you could go.
There's like there's shape-changing spies. There's obviously cybernetic monarchical aristocrats. There's intrigue, there's backstabbing, there's fights for survival. And I think one of the brilliant ideas that Nim came up with when he was developing the overall concept of the world is it's the 26th century, but he kept it within our solar system. So you're talking about a chance to expand. The story, one of our other writers is working on, Steve, there's one branch that split off, and they are actually the only ones who actually leave the solar system, and some of them are starting to come back. So in the future, we might see an alien invasion. You know, like somebody went beyond our safe little solar system and they found something they didn't like, and they got to come running home to mama.
Well, I know I've played, you know, games that you guys have GM'd, and like, I try to be an intelligent player. Okay. Jeff was running a game, and there's like nobody wanted to do what he needed them to do for the story to go on. Right. Okay. It was like, and I like my character, I just like kind of nudged people, we got to do, you know, to try and get things going in the right direction. sometimes things are out of the GM's control. Like with Chris, I think I was driving Chris nuts in the Cthulhu game because I had it figured out right away, but I dragged him all over town before I let him end it.
Well, one of the cool things too is that there hasn't been a real big science fiction role-playing game in a while. I mean, there are some out there like Fallout, but that's really post-apocalyptic and stuff like that. But I remember playing Gamma World back in the day, which was fantastic.
Really,
you know,
like,
it just kind of died on the vine because so many more people were into D&D, and TSR saw the writing on the wall and said, "Oh, hey, if most of our fan base wants D&D, we're going that way." Because they had another game called Boot Hill, which was pretty good too. So,
Yeah, EverQuest was the bomb back in the late 90s. It was the game, you know. And as much as I loved what they did with the Star Wars game back then online, it still wasn't as good as EverQuest. EverQuest was just the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, like the only things modern that comes to mind, of course, you know, is the offshoot from Pathfinder where they did Starfinder. So they basically did what TSR did. TSR had their D&D, and then they made their sci-fi setting, which I played, which was a lot of fun. If you like playing D&D and you were into Star Trek and Star Wars at the time, that was cool. But you know, the only things I've seen in a very long time is a game company called Modifius released Dune and Star Trek RPGs, and we actually, me and Nim reviewed the Dune RPG, and he also did a solo play and review of the Star Trek RPG, and they're both excellent. So it's nice to see people are starting to kind of get back into sci-fi and, you know, space opera kind of stuff. You know, but as much as I love D&D, like, there's so much out there. And Chris is a perfect example of that with his game Slaughterville, which was a nice derivation of the idea of like the horror-based game that wasn't Vampire Call of Cthulhu. He has his own thing, and we had a blast playing that.
I can't wait till we can do it again because it was so much fun playing Slaughterville, man. And I still have one more book I got to proofread. We got to play so I can proofread the last book.
There's an opening. Make sure you give me a call for Slaughterville because I'm always down for some horror games.
Oh,
I
dude,
used to play white book games all the time in the past. And fuck those,
he's got some cool mechanics in there. I like his stress mechanic quite a bit.
I got to use it more.
Yes. I mean, the whole concept of the game is awesome. And he has so many different storylines already written out that you can play 7, 8, 9 times before you even try to figure out something of your own. You know?
In some ways, Slaughterville reminds me of every like 5th Stephen King short story I've ever read, where people take some weird offshoot road and they find themselves trapped for eternity in a terrible, terrible town. That's kind of Slaughterville.
And the thing is that I think we need more support for all of these different types of games for virtual tabletops. You know, because right now, man, it's hard to get support for anything that's not. Well, I mean that's not fair, but there's more support for Pathfinder and D&D and fantasy games than there is for anything else.
Well, like for instance, Nim has run for us a Warhammer fantasy game, and there is support for it on Roll20. But the support is nowhere near as good as it is for like playing D&D 5th edition, because like we're supposed to be able to, you know, like, oh, you know, like add these modifiers to our rolls and they never work. And we're always having to do it manually, you know, in our head. Oh, remember you've got this for it. It's too bad. I don't know. Maybe we can look up online and see if somebody's figured out some macros that actually work, because it's not built into the architecture of the system itself yet.
Yeah.
Did you have to do stuff, Chris, with the Cthulhu game to make it work?
Always. Yeah, it's better to use your own dice roller than Roll20 for some of these games, because again, like you said, unless you're D&D, they just don't care. I even tried the Marvel game, and I thought the Marvel one would be on point. So many things are missing. It's insane. After it's been out about a year, so it should be fixed by now.
Yeah, I mean they've got sheets for it. I use the sheets for it on Roll20. I've gotten the dice roller to work, but at the same time, it can't do column shifts. I'm always having to do the column shifts for the players. At least the initiative works the way I want it to. And I have a homebrew system, and because I don't have like the professional account, I can't write the macros that would make the thing work the way I do. So I'm always having to refer to my own chart instead of like these guys can just roll and it pops up naturally.
Yeah, and you really never know what you're going to get. So I will say, like with the Warhammer Fantasy one, I ended up buying the physical version of the books on order, you know, and they're delayed coming over from England because, of course, they are. But I bought the virtual tabletop version, and then I'm trying to add monsters or rules to the game, and then I go to that section in the compendium that I bought on the virtual tabletop, and it says there's no stats. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man,
but if integrated into the system, why isn't it working?
yeah. So yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, look at that!
Nice, very cool.
Chris.
Oh yeah.
You to Chris before?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Chris here makes some great games, and his stuff always looks so good. I mean, it looks like it's printed right here. I was going to ask because I wanted to make some games. I was going to ask him about stuff like, you know, like how do I make a board for a board game? You seem to know, like your boxes and your books always look so damn good, so pristine.
Book 2.
Yeah, there are quite a few
bunch of different
templates I can set you
storylines.
up with that we can easily get you hooked up with whatever you need, like a 6-fold board, a quad-fold, 5-fold, whatever you need.
I think I'm looking for something in the. I've got ideas to do something in the style of Monopoly without like infringing on their trademark.
So that would just be a quad-fold.
Kind of fun.
I got one more thing.
Yeah. What's that hunting board game? Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one about a year back.
This is awesome. We played this game a few times live in the Madness Gaming playlist. You can go watch us play this game. We played it sitting around a table together. It was freaking awesome, man.
I think I only have about 100 left or so.
Dude, and this game, man, this game's fun, guys. It really is. You guys know Phantasmagorical? She hangs out on some of the streams. She is not a hunting fan. She came out and played the game and loved the game. Okay, so, you know, gone hunting, folks. A family-friendly hunting game.
How much you selling that for?
30.
You know,
you can pull your site up, Chris.
We'll get it then.
Yeah, I've got a nephew. He's like 16 now. We've been playing board games with him since he was really little, as opposed to like him just being stuck in front of a TV screen or a computer all the time, just video gaming his life away. I mean, he enjoys that, but like he kind of got raised up the way we got raised up. We got raised up playing board games in our home because we didn't have video games back then.
Yeah, we didn't have video games. We didn't have video games.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to make a purchase from you because I think that'd be a fun game to play.
It's Space Monkeys.
I got these. Hey, these are some of the new designs for Space Monkeys. So
I love it.
That's some of them. So
now, for those earlier, and those of you who are not as old as us folks, there mentioned something called color forms, and
that's the first thing I thought of.
In fact, hold
Shrinky
on.
dinks.
Oh, please. This will be.
Yeah, where you make them and you put a little. So there's a little base that they stand on. They call them standees now.
Yeah. We can do Shrinky dinks as well, and there's the background for the color forms. So the color form set, that's going to be the background and laminated, and you'll get the color forms and.
It was like being able to make your own. Like back in the day, my stuff was all superheroes, and it allowed you to make a comic book before you knew how to draw. You have your laminated piece of cardboard with your artwork on it, and your color forms are basically like these like a 3 mil thick pieces of vinyl with the artwork.
The vinyl stickies.
and you would just put them on there. They would adhere to it, without like any sort of
Static.
stickiness.
You get Spider-Man in like 15 different poses so that you could put him in different, doing different things at different times or whatever. It was like weird, but it was fun. You were a kid.
And they had like the Batman kind of power effects on there and explosions and flames.
Yep.
And it was just the coolest thing before I learned how to draw. This was how I created stuff.
That is the third thing of vinyl laminates I want to give to people in the set. So I want to give them those 2 sheets of Space Monkeys plus, and those will be those Space Monkeys you saw will be some of the ones you'll be able to name if you buy the limited.
Now, those would also be real cool. Like, how they got on the back window, they got the vinyl things. They got the whole
like your kids.
All the Space Monkeys in a little row. It'd be kind of cool too.
But, I'm also going to give people a sheet of words and explosions, and like laser blasts and stuff, so you can build your battles and do your thing. And,
Nice.
So
now, I'm not going to say I've done this, but the color forms with the 110 camera, snap. That's one panel. Snap. That's another panel. Wait 3 weeks to get it back.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So
I wanted to ask real quick, and I'm sorry. You were talking about Modiphius, and I know Chris and them pretty well. Did you get this?
Yes.
Oh, check that out.
That's the one that I reviewed that I did a review for. So yeah,
they did a solo. The Captain's Log is the solo version for it, and I'm like, I can't wait to read this sucker.
I was looking at the Kobayashi Maru adventure, which was great. Yeah. But I did an extensive deep dive, and I got sent a physical book. I don't have it right here on hand, but I got like the Big Dune, like the source book. And let me tell you, as a longtime Dune fan, I've been reading this since the movie came out. And I became aware of it way back in the '80s, the David Lynch film. I've read all the books a number of times, and Modiphius knows their shit. They get the lore right.
Oh yes, I've been eyeing that. Is that a good book?
Oh my god, yeah. Sorry. Oh my god.
Okay, Jeff, which Dune book is your favorite?
We got to get on.
Because I tell you right now, mine's God Emperor without a doubt.
God Emperor is really good. It is really
without a doubt. That's my favorite, man. Because that just like nothing else gets to that point of what Paul was trying to avoid. That's what Paul was trying to avoid. Nothing else in any of the other books gets anywhere close. Not the future breeding programs or anything, right? It's like that's the one.
I love me some Army of Darkness now.
Army of Darkness. I'd play that.
I think I'm still gonna say the first Dune book is still my favorite overall, but like God Emperor is just like a hair behind it.
All right, I'll let you guess what mine is. I wrote Blood World, and Blood World has politics and backstabbing and family squabble and everything else that's going on, and people trying to depose rulers and everything else. What do you think my favorite Dune book?
It's got to be God Emperor, right?
That was God Emperor too.
No, I like God Emperor Dune Messiah. I love the Dune Messiah.
Dune Messiah.
Yep. I love Dune Messiah. In fact, I always watch the.
Oh, look, he's got all the things.
Dude,
I'm serious.
We are going
Chris has a solid. Why do you think Chris does our tabletop gaming and all of our on the network? Because he's got it all. He's like,
I don't know if you can see it behind me. I got my. I finally brought some of my Orcs and Goblins to display out. My Warhammer Fantasy. So
wait, what? A Universal Soldier?
Dude, I got Universal Soldier, Total Recall, Pacific Rim, Escape from New York, Rambo, and The Crow. I'm waiting on friends.
I've been trying to get him to play The Crow. That's the one I want.
All from
Chris is a role-play master
different companies.
These are from Evil Genius Games, and it's based on their Everyday Heroes line. And they got the license to the only one I'm missing, I believe, is Kong on Skull Island. So yes, we can do a Titans Monsterverse RPG as well. But if you want to run through with Snake Plissken,
Now, see, and now look, guys, this has been our biggest problem is not having a time slot we know people can show up at.
Oh,
See,
I would do that game at this time. I mean, I would set up a game stream at this time in place of this show.
Rambo.
If we could all like show up here
That would be
together.
awesome.
And do them,
I'll tell you right now, I love Escape from LA because if you look at the map, I live like on the new beachfront property. That's one of the taking off points to LA. Like, I want to play. I want to escape back to my house. That's what I
want to surf the tsunami.
Yeah. I'm going to say, get your ass to Mars.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Unreal.
But yeah, I'm just saying, I would preempt this show any week you guys want to come out and play.
Nice.
In this time slot. You know, I mean, since we all seem to be able to get away from kids or whatever at this time slot, I'd set up the streams this time.
Check this out. I got my I displayed my Orcs and Goblins, little squig rider there. So for my Warhammer Fantasy army. But I got a little bit of my army up here, so I'm happy. My boys, my greenskins are out and I'm rampaging again. So
my orc army, he says, I got them all around me now. Good.
Oh no, for those of you who use Hero Forge to make your minis, I was one of the Kickstarter backers. So I got like my first mini free, and I waited a long time to cash in on that. And when I did, my very first mini is Vlad Tepes, and he's holding a cross in one hand, and he's got a giant like a partisan in the other because he's going to impale somebody. So like my incarnation of Vlad Tepes is a vampire who's a vampire fighter, vampire slayer.
All right.
So I tried to make him look as much like the paintings of
he's a Highlander vampire. There can be only one.
There's only one. I like the idea.
how is Chris? How is that book? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm always afraid the air conditioner is going to bother you. I don't want to.
Oh, we can't even hear that, dude.
Oh,
Which one is that?
This is the Fallout one.
And which one? Because I got a few.
2D20 version.
Okay, I think that's the same one I got.
My only issue with the 2D20 system is their idea of zones. They don't do that very clearly. Plus the concept of the truths, because you can modify the setting, is cool, but some of the things are not explained very well. Now, Fallout's not too bad, but I noticed something. Do you remember the new Fallout series? Sadly,
right.
Mm-hmm.
What was the vault she came out of?
33, 32, 31. It was those three that were.
Yeah, she came out of Vault 32, I think.
Why do I remember 111?
111 is from Fallout 4.
That's what I thought, because I knew I saw it somewhere.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
I was about to say, was that the vault that had all the mutants in it that she ended up visiting?
Where they couldn't stop mentioning Cox.
No, that was Vault. Oh God, I think it's like 14. 111 is in Boston, so or area around Boston. So,
hey,
and then,
Pops.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we played Mansions of Madness?
Yes.
The board game, because we did. I have it around here somewhere. But I finally found a copy of the RPG, The Adventure of Mansions of Madness. So I'm ready to drive all of you sons of bitches insane. I mean, sons of guns. Forgive me, Lord. I gotta stop cursing.
We will play that fucking game anytime you want because it's madness.
Call of Cthulhu is fun. Call of Cthulhu is fun.
Well,
if you guys never played, seriously, I'll run you. It's great.
I was out today because I went out to interview for a new job. For all of you who are ever looking to get a government job, I'm looking forward to when it happens, but I found out that the process, I thought that I might start work soon, so I was like worried about juggling my time and everything. I found it may take me 18 months to start working.
Yeah, easily. Yep. Now, speaking of new jobs, and I wasn't going to ever say anything.
Did you?
This Tuesday, I go for an interview to be a teacher at the local high school. So it's 5 minutes from my house.
Do they have a? Do they know? I mean, do you know what subject or whatever they want you for, or is it like kind of?
They want me because I teach so much stuff already, college level. They want me just for whatever I can do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wherever they can use you. Yeah.
Math,
We're
English,
making coach
psychology.
of the baseball team.
No, God bless them. They'd never do that. I don't need a baseball team.
Hey, Babe Ruth. Just saying, Babe Ruth.
Kirby Puckett.
Hot
Kirby
dogs and
Puckett.
hookers. That's the
You
key
can
to
hit the
life.
ball after the park. You can walk around the bases. That's all you need to do.
Kirby Puckett was like 5'8", 220. He was a little fire plug.
Just play like Ty Cobb. Give him the flying kick to the face to get him off the base.
I'm a Padres fan, so I will never disrespect the man, and I love him to death. But look at Tony Gwynn's rookie season.
Tony Gwynn. I knew you were going to say Tony Gwynn.
Tony looked like a bowling ball on legs by the end there. So, you know, he can still hit the hell out of a ball, but
what a descriptor.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, and I can say this officially because I'm half Mexican, but I think he had some Mexican blood in him because that's how we all look by the time we're in our 50s. You know, we got thin legs, wearing soccer shorts, and then we got big ass refried bean stomachs, you know. So, you know,
there might be something in this. When I was doing my AIT training in Texas, you know, learning my MOS, we would do these company runs, right? And you know, whenever like they got smart after a couple of runs because they had us mix with the females, and like, oh, this is so easy, man. Like these short-legged little females, like I don't feel like I'm doing anything, and they started separating us. Well, one day, the DI who's going to lead the run is this short, pudgy little Mexican dude, and we're all like, "Oh man, this is going to be a breeze today, right?" And then he calls the female to join him. And we're like, oh, this is so going to be easy, man. Like, because there was this one DI who was like a tall, skinny black dude, and he would smoke us, dude. He would have us running for miles and miles endlessly. This guy just like was like he was on the Serengeti. He was like one of them, you know, like he could just do it. He could marathon, and he would kill us. So we're like, oh, today's going to be easy. Like, we got a little fat Mexican and a little Mexican girl next to him. This is awesome. And he looks at her, and I'm trying to figure out how this guy's regular army, and he's overweight. Nobody else is overweight. I don't understand how this guy's overweight, right? And he looks at her, he's like, you ready to do it? And she's like, yeah, Top. Because this guy was a first sergeant. And they take off, and we're like, yeah. And then the speed keeps increasing. The speed keeps increasing. The speed keeps increasing. And we're like, your brain is going like, you know, blue screen and like, does not compute. How can these short, fat legs do this? And by the end, we were all, you know, like dying, sweating, ready to puke, ready to poop ourselves. Everything's going out of your body. You snot like tears or just latest waste. Found out later that this dude used to hold the record for long distance and speed running here at the base. And the little girl who was running with him was like, you know, before she entered, she was like a fucking track and field star. So she was right there with him, and they tore us up. So you can never judge a book by its cover, man.
There's this.
He was like you said, man, like a little dude with his refried bean belly, and he just took off and never stopped.
we have relatives in rural Mexico, like in the mountains up Sonora and everything. And there's a game that they play up there. Like they'll play it between villages. So the villages will be like 40 miles apart, and they'll start at one village and go to the other village. And the whole purpose of the game, it combines soccer and long distance running. So you have to keep the ball up while you're running 40 miles the whole way. So, yeah.
Well, no wonder he could just run like that. Holy crap.
Yeah. So
keep the ball off the ground the whole way?
Yeah. And it's not
so what happens if it hits the ground? Do you have to go back 100 yards and start over? What's
you
the
have
penalty?
to start over. So, like, you have people like it's a strategy game. So you have people up in front, and they'll try and kick it long. But if they do that, the whole team has to come back to the line where it dropped, and then you start playing again. So people are going back and forth. You're doing shuttles and stuff like that, running 40 miles like that.
Oh,
so yeah.
Wow. That's hardcore.
Yeah,
I could get down with that.
Core.
And it's not a normal ball because, of course, it's hard to get normal balls. So they're like hard rubber balls type thing. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I don't want to keep
Yeah, it is insane. It's insane. I've seen people try and play it. Like I've seen it on YouTube and stuff like that. People go down there who are soccer players or runners and stuff like that. By 10 miles, they're puking their guts all over the place because it's up in the mountains too. So, so there's that to deal with as well. So.
I thought the craziest sport I'd ever seen was like people in Korea playing, how should I put this? Like taekwondo volleyball with a shuttlecock. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos or images. Like,
can you pull something up so we can look at that? I want to see that.
There's like like watching these guys basically play volleyball with their feet because
with the shuttlecock.
Yeah, like because Asia's just full of that's all there is to it.
So it's like foot badminton.
Yeah. And I've seen
Asian hacky sack.
Yeah,
I want to see some of that. I want to see.
I believe I've seen it done with I think I've got a still on one of my computers somewhere where it's being played with like a regular volleyball as well, and because I remember like an old Jackie Chan movies where I first saw this, and they had like the shuttlecock, and he's hacky sacking it off his foot, and there's a bunch of people playing with their freaking feet. It's like, wow.
Well, I mean, I've done a lot of hacky sack. That's I've done that a lot, and I played soccer a lot. Never tried to do it with the birdie, with the black band.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
You guys may know what this is. I don't know what it was. I ran across it online one time. It's a Southeast Asian country. I want to say it's Thailand, but it might not be Thailand. It might be something else. But every year, a village will get together for a festival, and during that festival, you're not allowed to fight or argue for the whole year. But during that festival,
they get together, big fight.
Yeah, and then the refs are just like the village elders, whatever. And if you do something out of the rules, they just come in and start slapping the hell out of you. I'm like, what?
They come in with like these 3 to 4 foot rattan sticks, and anybody that you have a problem with all year, you save it up for this day, and you get out there and kumite with these freaking sticks and just beat the tar out of each other. And the sticks are willowy enough so that you don't do any permanent injury, but just imagine like an inch thick.
I know some people I'd love to take to that place. I know some people I would love to drag on down to that there festival. Shit, we need one of those in America. We need one of those in America.
Because people, they have their problems. Like there's, as far as I know, they don't have a whole lot of violent crime in this village because they all save it up for the festival. And the festival, they just let it all out. And at the end, you kind of like, remember like when you were kids, you used to beat the shit out of each other and you'd shake your hands or, good fight, whatever. And that would be the end of it.
Yep, then we go back.
That's what they do, but it's adults.
Can you imagine?
I'm totally down with it. We need one of those in America. We need one in every state.
So it's like a PG purge.
Zack Snyder had to line up for all the people that wanted to get it or something.
I think if you mix that with like was it Singapore? They caned that American kid because he was an asshole.
Yeah.
So if you had that and caning, like the public caning as a deterrent, I think we'd have quite a drop in crime.
Now, see, I'm looking at this from a different point of view. I'm looking at this like just all the stupid drama.
Yeah.
Just all the stupid drama. If everybody quit doing that and saved it up for one day a year, come out live and blast each other, whatever, but don't do it all every day, for Christ's sake. If we could get everybody to just save that shit up for one day a year.
I'd be walking into the circles like, all right, backstabber 1789, I'm here for you. I remember your tweets. I'm calling
Mr.
you
Snyder.
Yeah.
If Mr. Snyder, if we allow them to run and just slap you as they run by, we may get through them all in 24 hours.
Yeah. like the original Running Man book, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if it's not physical, I mean, just all the indie comic drama. If everybody would just stop, save it up for one day a year, and then come out and just flood the internet and take a shot at every fucking buddy that pissed you off all year long. Save it for one day a year. Everybody gets it out of their system on one day, and then we get 364 days of selling books.
And think about it, like you could make so much like this with like the government and the corporations, they would have a field day off it too because you'd televise it, you'd market the
pay-per-view, all that shit.
You would tax it. Like it's a win-win for everybody.
Everybody.
People are in Vegas betting on you.
I'd be happy if half the year was dedicated to selling indie books. Right now, like every time I hop on social media, it's the next Jerry Springer show. I'm like, who did what?
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Like we're supposed to be better than the nuclear wasteland that's become like the big two, you know.
And it's not even just the indie comics industry; it's everything. Like,
oh yeah,
those people that likes to watch like the law shows sometimes where they talk about the law.
It's the fandoms and the anti-fandoms, and that's what Jeff and I were talking about the other night. And I want him to run this by you in private when you guys, because it's important when it comes to campaigns.
Well, go. I will say this right now: if you ever want to see an example of something outside of comics, it's Jerry Springer. Type in Rakita Law and see what happened.
Oh, I don't even want to eat.
Oh,
nope.
man.
Nope.
Yeah,
I watched that. Want to talk about that.
I was such a fan of his for such a long time, and I'm still trying to process like what happened, man.
And then, you know, I'm looking at that going, man, that is so sad. I mean, look at what has happened. And there's people cheering for it. You know,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Everybody's like, there's people that are out there right now grifting. There's people right now out there that are using that to make money off of like they're telling us something that we don't get out of the actual news story. Which
I was watching Bearing and Sugar Tits because I
love Bearing and
I was watching Bearing and Sugar Tits, and that brought me to the attention that Rakita had become an alcoholic. And, you know, the guy seems like a really genuine guy. He's cool. He's got 5 kids. He likes a good scotch. His wife seems cool as hell. You know, I was following and I learned a lot about like law and watching these cases. It was really fascinating watching him cover all these cases and to pop back in and find out what's happened to him. And, you know, and Bearing and Sugar Tits were really sweet. They're like, you know, the guy clearly needs help, you know, and if he just recognizes his problem and turn around, like people love a redemption story. You know, we would take him back in. But right now he is just determined to self-destruct, and he's taking his family down with him. And that's a tragedy. It disgusts me that anybody is celebrating that, whether you like him or not. Like, that's bullshit.
That's why you haven't seen me do any kind of shows about it. You haven't seen me. It's like look, if you're tearing down what anybody else, you're not the hero of the story. That dude's got problems. He's got issues. Hopefully he'll fix them. It's not my place to go out here and drag him through the fucking mud about it.
Right.
I don't want to see that stuff happen to anybody. But
I don't mind usually talking about somebody that's just like being an asshole. And I'm not going to mention any names because there's far too many I want to start shit. But
you just had to say something about me behind my back, didn't you, Jay?
Oh, of course I did. But you know, like sometimes when we do our when Nim and I we're doing our movie reviews with our friends, we're talking like, oh, you know, this guy has a problem on set or that sort of thing, because it's a well-known sort of thing. But if we were watching somebody who was actually self-destructing like that, we wouldn't go there, because like being an asshole is curable, you know, and watching somebody spiral down the drain is nothing to celebrate.
I don't even like to see bad things happen to bad people, you know.
No,
it is what it is. Hey guys, this has been great. My wife just got home. She's been out for like 9 hours, so I'm gonna go take care of her and
Do that thing, bro.
yeah. So I will talk to you guys later. This is great. I'm glad that I saw the link.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
I'm sure I will talk to you all again soon. So I know I'm talking to that band soon. So, but I would love to talk to the rest of you as well. So see you guys later.
Yeah, I'd love for you to get in with this on the RPG game for sure. Let's get something going, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Bye, guys.
Hey,
All right, brother.
there's the link right there. Phoenix Throne 1 over there on Fund My Comic. Don't wait till it's on Kickstarter, guys. Fund My Comic is by comic people, for comic people. There ain't no lawn chairs. Ain't no none of that dumb shit. It's just about what we do.
Yeah, if there are people out there saying like, oh, you know, comics suck and there's nothing new and the people who make comics these days suck, there's lots of people out there who you don't know about, you know, who are popping up on shows like this. There's more great indie comics than I can afford to purchase, even at the lowest tiers.
This guy right here.
Good stuff out there. I mean, look at that. Look at that right there. Doesn't that look awesome?
Kevin Davis, yo, right there in the chat. I don't know if he's still there. He was there earlier.
And you know, the reasons there's like so many people are into manga, they're saying like, you know, American comics, we've got superhero fatigue. You know, American comics didn't used to all be superheroes all the time. There used to be romance comics, horror comics, Western comics, all kinds of other comics. If you go to the indies, you will find all the other stuff that's not superheroes all the time. There's slice of life, there's horror, there's drama, there's sci-fi, there's fantasy, there's everything. There's some weird gonzo shit.
There is cannibal fucking rednecks. Yeah.
Rednecks. There's whatever the hell Path of the Pale Rider is, because Laurie is the mistress of all media. Step aside, Howard Stern. She has dethroned you.
Is that my cue? Was
Sure,
that a cue?
Play it. Do it.
Ask again.
Just what is Path of the Pale Rider?
Yeah, somebody was supposed to drop the new trailer in all the studios, because it's not. It's can I tell you?
Yeah, Laurie's so cool with that. You know, she's got her comic book, she's got her short films that are tied in. She does puzzles. She makes toys. She's making freaking hot sauce. She's
That's his fault. That's his fault. The hot sauce is his fault.
Hot sauce is your fault? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you corrupting influence, you.
Yeah, he's the one that did that and the madness sauce.
Fantastic. I love it. And like, you know, Nim recently got his stuff from Laurie, and he says like the hot sauce is kicking.
Yeah, I made that recipe and sent it off to her, and she liked it. So I just go ahead, make them.
Hey, good job, brother. Good job.
Now, what he did with my sauce was much better.
Hot honey mustard.
It's a
that's
honey mustard with Carolina Reapers. It was real good. Real good. Yeah. I want another option on that. I want a brown sugar mustard, a hot brown sugar mustard too. Chris?
I like the sound of that because, like, my favorite barbecue sauce is often some form of mustard barbecue, and I tend to like it hotter. My wife, she's all about the sweet. She likes the Carolina sweet. But I bounce between like hot spicy vinegar and my mustard sauces, whatever flavor factor they've got going on there, because of course there's a variety.
Well, the mustard sauce he made was wonderful.
Mustard hot sauce.
It was honey mustard, but it had good kick, right?
That intrigues me. That intrigues me. I want to get some of that now.
But you guys know the hot mustard that McDonald's made?
Yeah.
Brown sugar hot mustard. I want that, but hotter.
Okay.
I never had that. It is 12:30, so I'm gonna head to bed.
Yeah, we can probably shut this thing down.
I used to put that stuff on my filet of fish sandwich.
Oh, that sounds like it would be good.
It was.
I do want to throw about 1,022 thank yous out to all the subscribers to the Madness Comic Network. It's kind of fun now that I've passed that 1,000 mark. I get to like watch things. I know things will change because it's a different algorithm. So we'll see how it changes. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, Jeff and I will keep you apprised.
We often go backstage to check the analytics versus what YouTube is saying that we're getting. It doesn't jive.
Right.
We compare the reality to what they try to sell you. Basically,
there was a great moment where like Pops were you on Twitter at the time? X, you're like hitting him up on there, and they're like, oh, it's like da 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 da, and then he started dropping the receipts, and all of a sudden like radio silence.
Yeah, they clammed right up, man. I started going, oh, well, what about this show, and what happened to all the views on this show? And it's like, because you can see all the people talking in the chat.
We have watched in real time, watch the views jump up, and we watched the subscribers go away and pop back in.
Yeah, we watched them steal views from us in real time. Exactly. So it's always fun to
talking about you.
It's funny because I even said, do I need to do a show about it? And yeah, they clammed right up after that. But we tried to be nice. I just want them to not steal watch hours from me. I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about comics.
Yeah. Chris, I definitely gotta get with you sometime to talk about like materials for games and stuff, because like you are the master. You have the you can build them stronger, better, faster. Dun 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 dun. If you know
Gods of Metal, guys. If you don't know, that one will be hitting down on us here real soon.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, see,
There's
Gods of
no
Metal.
expansion.
Hold that back up. Nobody got
too fat to turn. This is the new expansion for Gods of Metal, my heavy metal based board game. Well, it's a deck building game, and it has a bunch of new bands. I threw in like two new bands that we didn't unlock because I wanted to play them too.
Yep. So if you ordered that will be coming down the pipe here real soon, people.
Yep, I'm shipping the comic books out, and then I'm going to ship the game out, and then I'm done shipping for a couple of weeks until I sell the novel.
The novel's coming out. Look, like I said, he's making it happen.
Look at it. Here, let me point with this finger so it looks like I'm pointing the right way. I don't know if it's going to. Look at this Renaissance man over here.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah,
yeah. The book.
Check it out, guys. I dropped the link over there where you can get all that merch, all the Laughing Rogue and Big Sexy merch is right there. bso-lr.square.site. Go check it out, man. You can get all that stuff. The game I showed you earlier, the Gone Hunting game, the Gods of Metal game, the Slaughterville games. All the tabletop games are available over there, as well as the books and the RPG stuff. Look, I proofread it. Go buy it. Damn it.
Search on the Madness Network, and you can find us play testing stuff and doing playthroughs. Like you can check it out before you purchase. And
Short and long form.
Yeah, we've done a lot of games that we've done, that we've demoed tabletop games as well as, playing RPG games. It's basically to show you guys it's fun to play. That's why we're doing it, so.
I'm glad to do that, because like one of the things I miss, I used to love watching Will Wheaton play a top game every week. That was so cool. I saw so many games I wanted to play watching that show.
Yeah, that's why I try to. Chris is busy as hell, and I'll be like, dude, are we going to do a tabletop this week? And he's like, I'll record one and send it to you when I get a chance. Because it's like he's a busy guy. So
I got to fit that time in to set everything up. But Will Wheaton, that tabletop is actually what got me into gaming. Like I had a book published in 2005, and I liked horror and everything else. But then when I saw his first video I saw him do was Betrayal at House on the Hill. I went out and I bought that game immediately, and it just spiraled from there to what I'm surrounded with.
I was so excited. I like for instance, one of my favorite games was, I don't remember the name of the game off the top of my head, but they were playing a game where they were investigators, vampire hunters, and Dracula. And it was set like in the Dracula
Fury
novel.
of Dracula. Fury of
Dracula. That was really cool. And I love seeing them play one of my favorite RPGs that I played back in the 80s, Paranoia.
Yep.
Yeah, watching him play that with Matt Mercer and oh god, I can't believe I'm vegging on her name.
Was it Felicia? I don't remember.
Felicia Hardy. And that was so much fun because that game is just awesome, and it was so delightful to me to see people playing that again, because I never hear anybody talking about Paranoia, but it's such a fun game.
You got that one, Chris?
That one I don't have, but I do have one that you need to be physically there to play, and it's called Dread, and it uses the Jenga tower instead of dice. So when you want to do something, you have to pull from the Jenga tower, and if it topples, that's when you died.
Oh, I like that mechanic.
I like that a lot. That'd be fun.
I'll remind me, and I'll get you the PDF. Cool. I got you,
dude.
All right, I'm gonna let these guys go. I'm
sorry,
Chris, tired. Thanks, guys. It was a blast hanging out with you as usual. Every Friday night, guys. We put this. I don't care who comes out. We're just talking about just everyday shit, right? Do either of you guys got anything going on this weekend that you want to tell people
about? Let's see. This weekend, I will be running tomorrow. I'll be running the Marvel Superheroes game on the Circle of the Seven Dice. You can watch it on YouTube. And then Sunday, the Fellowship of the D20 will be. We'll be playing our long-running D&D campaign there. I think our character is like level 17 now. And currently we are going through Avernus. Baldur's Gate, Avernus. So we're that thing. And it's, it's tier 4 stuff all the way. We're constantly facing like gods and monsters. And it's a fight for survival every inch of the way. Also on YouTube. So Circle of the Seven Dice. Be sure to put the Circle of the Seven Dice, I'm pretty sure, because there's a Circle of the Seven Dice that's somebody else's YouTube channel. And you can also find Circle of the Seven Dice and Fellowship of the D20 on Twitter, and they will have the links to the YouTube channel if there's any discussion there. My artwork, if you want to see my artwork, is on DeviantArt. I am Bracey100 there. You can hit me up on Twitter, X, Bracey452. I am working my butt off, but I am still open for commissions because money. I need it. I need more. I can make more.
I like the money.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen his art right here on this show. You know what he can do. Then there's this other guy, Chris. What's up? What do you got?
I'm a vegetable.
What is it?
I wanted to just share his Circle of the Seven Dice.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Oh, it went back to the wrong thing. I am so sorry. I am retarded.
There we go.
There it is. The circle of the 7 dice.
Yeah, I grabbed the link to share it quick, and I'm like, oh, I hit the wrong tab. But no, we have the novel coming. That's what I've been, honest to God, working the most on. I wrote it, and
Now, what's this novel about? Is it related to Slaughterville, or
Yes.
what'd you say? Okay, nice.
it is The Beast Within. It's a new take on the werewolf story, and it's part one. It's introducing the people to the world of the game, and it is going to, I have it planned for 12, 13, 14, 15 books kind of a deal. And it's gonna go crazy. Yes. You should have it, damn it. I gave you like 12 copies.
Is the Beast Within in the main book?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's in there. He is one of the creatures you can fight in the RPG. In fact, a moonlit night is the Beast Within.
Okay. That's this one right here.
That's the one we didn't run yet, so that's why you didn't. Yeah.
This is the one I haven't proofread yet because we haven't played it yet. So
I love the novel tie-in as a way to expand the lore of the game as well. That's so much fun.
That honest, and I know it's late and I apologize, but that was my whole idea for the game itself was I want you to I love telling stories, writing books and everything else, but I wanted you to tell your story. And I wanted you to be able to do it with a ton of different options. And as such, I made Slaughterville. It's the place where every horror movie takes place. And it's in its own pockety style dimension-y thing. So there's nothing that's off the limits. So the town can't, the town can modify it. Your house changed.
Yep.
So I remember shizzies, but and so this way, that's why we can have Dracula show up or things new in town can just appear. And the RPG was a way to expand that as well and give you a deeper way to tell more of your stories. But the book this is my story of if I were playing the game.
The funniest thing about it is we played these games, right? And then I go and proofread the books, and the way we played them is so different than what the book actually, what the actual storyline is. It's like, because it's your decisions can change everything,
But when I'm writing and I do my outline, because I always do an outline, I'm a dork, I know. But I will actually sit there with the game and say, okay, this is what I'm doing in it. How does it relate to the game? And then I will flip over cards, say, hey, what if these things happened? And it helps to tie everything in, So I just love the
really good stuff, guys.
Because as a DM, being a DM is almost like writing a novella. You're writing a story. You have like your outline. You kind of have your points, your plot points. This is where you think things are going to go. But as soon as you bring in players, that's when you've got to be that guy who's good at improvising because you never know where a player's going to go.
How would I have expected Karen to electrical cattle prod somebody in the testicles?
Hey, look,
or in the butthole. She got somebody in the butthole too.
Yeah.
But like when we played the Cthulhu game, it was that to me the answer was obvious right away.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to be over right away, so I dragged Chris all over the places that he didn't think were probably relevant to the game until I went there.
Yeah, playing role-playing game is like going to war. Like there's an adage: no plan survives first contact with the enemy. And similar thing because like I was playing this pirate D&D game, and my world was sort of a combination. I wanted a combination of like Pirates of the Caribbean and Call of Cthulhu because of all sea shenanigans. There's a lot of fun. There's lots of eldritch stuff going on. But there's like also lots of epic adventure, pirate adventure. Like, and I see so few people doing like pirate adventure in D&D. So, okay, that's going to happen in this particular campaign. And then so the guys, the party, at first I give them kind of a crew to be with. So they're on a boat. It's not their boat. They're hanging out with those other guys. It's their boat. And they get a patron in the city of the coastal city of Arkham. And yeah, it's actually the Arkham was founded by the warlock Lovecraft.
Oh,
and he's got his that's Modifius too, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got his giant spire that they it's where all the magical people go to learn, but like the locals call it the Arkham Asylum. So there's a Batman nod.
all right,
But
so
he-
you guys, you know where to find these guys. You know
And
what
he-
they're. Oh, I'm
he
sorry.
was going to give the players their own boat, and one player who was kind of took on the role of the leadership in the story, he ended up selling the boat. Totally unexpected move. He's like, "Is there a shipwright?" Well, of course there's a shipwright on the docks. And he sells the boat the patron just gave him, and then they ship out with the guys that they were supposed to finally leave and have their own boat. It's like, no, I like this boat better. And it's like, and I think he just wanted the money, the asshole. So he ended up with like thousands of gold pieces. Like, oh, all
Yeah,
right.
and then he can buy cool stuff.
Oh.
You got to have money to buy cool stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, he's one of these guys who's like big because this is a town that was founded by a magical dude. So of course there are magical shops there, and that was his thinking.
so yeah,
So
everybody, you guys.
I let it roll. You know, I had no reason. There was no game reason to stop him from selling the boat. The shipwright didn't know any. The shipwright didn't know any better. So I was like, all right, I'll like Telltale Games. The DM will remember that. But I had to give it to him for like getting one over on me like that.
That's how we roll here, people. We game, we comic, we do the things that are fun. That's why we're here. I want to thank you guys for both coming hanging out with me. And again, thank everybody for helping get me over that 1,000 subscriber hump so that we can move on and grow and go forward. What can I tell you? That guy does some awesome shit. Get you some of it.
And Pops, thank goodness we have Pops here to help us. Hands this way now. It's all reversed. Damn it. Because if Pops hadn't created the network, like we would have never met each other and be introduced to new creators doing cool, new, awesome stuff all the time. So thank you, Pops, for all of your efforts as well.
I love it, especially when it's somebody new that needs that leg up, that doesn't have that audience, that doesn't have the eyes on them. They need that kind of help. Those are the people I love to help the most. That's why I get excited when new creators' books get funded. You hear me talking? I get excited when new creators' books get funded. Go get some Blood World, people. Phoenix Throne, #1 on Fund My Comic. Go get it. Now,
30 for a low price.
Yeah. It's price right. Look, you guys know I love them $10 comics. I love them.
A whole bunch of people in on this, and we can reintroduce the world to the magic of color forms. We really want to do that.
All right.
And I'm waiting for my space monkeys.
Damn right.
Here you go. And on that, I'm getting out of here. Peace, everybody.